If you're on a mission to build the best wardrobe you can, the best style that you can, on as low budget as possible, you might want to know about today's brand that I'm discussing. If you are a Sezane fan, this other brand may already be on your radar, but if not, I am going to talk about it today. I made a whole video before about the Sezane Gaspard cardigan. I bought it 3 years ago, or 3.5 years ago even, and I've worn it a ton. It's so versatile. It's a really great addition to my wardrobe. But it does have a slightly high price point at £95. So today I'm talking about a little bit of a dupe. I'm going to compare, I'm going to contrast, and I'm going to show you how I've styled both of them again. I styled up the Gaspard jumper in a few more ways, just to kind of bring it up to date in my wardrobe and just to give myself a few more ideas. But if you're interested in seeing my week in a Gaspard jumper, 7 different outfits, I'll pop a link up in the cards. Another thing I wanted to mention as well is that in this video I have just styled up these outfits using my two favourite Teddy Blake handbags. Teddy Blake have a sale on at the moment, so I will leave links to check them out, because if you're looking for those really high quality handbags but not at a designer price, Teddy Blake is a really great place to look. They have the most beautiful styles. This has been one of my favourite bags I've ever owned. It just feels like the most beautiful high quality, and look at the colour of that. It's just the most decadent rich chocolate brown I've ever seen. And then my more recent addition from Teddy Blake is this beautiful lilac. And the reason I wanted to include this in today's videos as well is because part of me wants a little hint of feminine in my style, and so that's why I ordered a pink cardigan. But can I get that femininity in my outfits if I'm wearing the beige cardigan, if I just inject a little bit of lilac? This kind of does feel like that similar feminine hint of colour and softness. So I'm kind of thinking that's what I'm comparing when I'm looking back at the outfits. I'm like, yeah, you've got the femininity with the pink cardigan, but maybe you already have it with the beige with a little hint of purple. It just gives me a little bit of energy. Like it's just a different mood than the rest of my wardrobe, which is obviously very neutral, as you can see. I just think adding a coloured handbag in is really beautiful. And what I love about this Teddy Blake bag is it's a lot bigger than the other one. So I went out and about yesterday in London, and this fit my sunglasses and my sunglasses case, because I didn't know if it was going to be sunny, my umbrella because I didn't know if it was going to rain, both of which happened. It rained and it was sunny, so I needed both. It also fit my Kindle and pen and my lipstick and my purse and all of that stuff. So I really recommend this. It's a great size. It doesn't look too big. It's not like a huge tote, but it's a really, really nice size, and it carries a lot of stuff. So like I said, I'll leave a link below if you want to check out Teddy Blake and any of their bags. If you're a fan of the cardigan, you already know, but just to show you, this is a really gorgeous cardigan from Sezane. It's possibly one of their most popular. It's a really nice, lightweight knit. It's mohair. It's a bit of a blend of a few things. Let's see what they are. 37% kid mohair, 37% baby alpaca, and 26% polyamide. This is a really beautiful knit. It's really soft, although you might think like alpaca and mohair might be quite itchy. It might feel a little itchy to the touch, but when I wear it, it's never felt itchy. So again, this will just depend on your personal skin. I'm just gonna say skin preferences, but like your personal, how sensitive your skin is to textures and fabrics. It's really lovely. It just has some small buttons at the front. But one of my main features that I love about this jumper is that it is reversible, and I've possibly worn it more as a jumper with the buttons at the back than I have as a cardigan. But I like that you've got both options. It kind of gives you double the amount of options and ways to wear it, because I'm a lot more likely to wear a jumper in the winter and like buttoned up than I do like an open cardigan in like the slightly cooler months. And the reason that Sezane have made this reversible, or like the reason that it's specifically reversible, is that they've put the tag in the side, not right in the back. So it's not right in the front neck. So when you have it on, it's kind of like sits to one side. So I really love that. I've got this kind of oatmeal-y colour. Can't remember exactly what the shade is called. I'll pop on the screen. If you're a fan of this cardigan or you've been thinking about investing in it, I definitely would recommend this. It's worn really well. It's washed really well. It doesn't really pill or bobble. I don't think I've like debobbled it much, if at all. And I just wash it on a hand wash setting in my machine every so often. So in that respect, it's just lasted really well. When I bought this, I had a £100 Sezane voucher, so I didn't actually spend any of my own money on it. However, I did want to, and that was why I asked for a voucher in the first place. I got it around my birthday, so I'd asked for the voucher. But I definitely think it's worth the money if you have it. But if you don't, then I've got a slightly more affordable option to talk about today. So this is the Palome version of what I would say is this version of a Sezane cardigan. It is 30% alpaca, 30% mohair, so 7% less of each of those than the Sezane one had, and 40% nylon. Also says designed in London and Paris. So I think, again, Palome brand is just supposed to have that real French girl inspired vibe, but I do think a lot of their work, and I think they might be based in London. What I really like about this cardigan is the colour. I love me a neutral, so that's why I picked the Sezane cardigan in this kind of oatmeal colour. But I just love the soft pink of this one, and I believe at the minute it's only available in like pink and black, but I'm sure as they're a slightly new brand, they'll probably introduce more colours, whereas the Sezane one is available in quite a few colours at the minute. The price point for this is £65, which you're saving £30, so it's a third less, which I know is still not necessarily a cheap cardigan, but I think is still quite good for what it is with 60% wool content. It has very similar buttons, as you can see they're down the front, but the Palome ones are actually a fabric covered button. So I really like that little detail that they've covered the button instead of the Sezane ones, which are just like a pearl effect. However, one of my buttons has already fallen off the first time I tried it, but I haven't sewn it back on yet. It's a very simple job. If I do decide to keep this, then I will just sew the button back on. If I can find some thread to match. I wouldn't necessarily say that's like a really bad sign. I think buttons are just delicate, and if the buttonholes are kind of tight because I haven't been used much, so it was when I was taking it on and off. So that doesn't put me off or anything. The other difference with this is that it's not necessarily intended to be reversible, although I have styled it up in that way. And again, like I said, if I keep this, I will just move the label to one side, so I'll just unpick it and move it, or I might just take it off altogether. Another difference in the two cardigans is the Palome ones are numerical sizes, so I've got mine in my usual size 8. It did say it fits slightly oversized, so I wanted it to be slightly oversized, so I stuck with my usual size. Whereas I have the small in the Gaspard, that's more just like extra small, small, medium, large, etc. When I hold them up to each other, they seem to be pretty much the exact same size. So the sleeve length is the same, the body length is pretty much the same. Overall, it's the same. The necklines seem pretty much the same as well. And then if you're to turn it around and wear them as a jumper, they again have a very similar neckline. So if you had these two cardigans in the same colours, I feel like they would be identical apart from the buttons. And if I show you up really closely, you can see the knit pattern on them is also the exact same. So if you were thinking of investing in the Gaspard jumper and you're interested in any of the colours that Palome have, I would definitely suggest checking these out first, see if you like them. But if you're a diehard Sezane fan, then the difference is only £30. I think the main difference for me is the fact that one of these is super neutral and one is a little bit more of a different colour for me. So for me to consider if it's worth keeping or worth having over the Sezane jumper in my wardrobe, that would be what I would need to decide between. So based on just the qualities of the jumpers, I would probably choose the more affordable version if I was to buy them again. But if I'm thinking about colour wise and the Palome one doesn't have the option for a neutral, I think the neutral fits my wardrobe better and it has been so versatile for me. But I actually think this one is very versatile in my wardrobe and it goes with a lot of the colours in my wardrobe, and it's a colour that suits me. I quite like this kind of shade of pink on me, something a little bit dusky, not too pale, not too pink. And I've managed to style this up in multiple different ways with a lot of pieces in my wardrobe. So I actually do think if I decide to keep this, which I kind of wanted to order it for the video to compare, just to see, because I'd heard about it. I saw a few people share about this brand and I thought, why not just try it? I never really do videos like this where I buy something specifically just to have it for a video. But if I love it, I will keep it and I will work it into my wardrobe. One other thing I did forget to mention, and I'm just kind of noticing now, is that this knit does feel slightly itchier or rougher but I can't tell if that's because this one I've had for 3 years and I've worn it and washed it, or if it just is because there's a higher nylon content in this than there is polyamide in this one. So this has 37 and 37, 74% wool, and this has 60% wool. So there's a lower wool content in this, which of course probably is reflected in the price, but I just don't know if this, when it was new, felt the same. So I can't really tell. I did think it was going to be too itchy, but then I put it on and I wore it around and I didn't notice it once it was on my body. It's more just to touch. It's more just to touch that you'd notice it. But again, it's only very minor. But if you were sensitive to fabrics like this and wool was a little bit itchy for you, then you may not like this one. But again, I feel like it's one of those things that you'd have to try it on, feel it against your skin to know. Like I said, I styled both of these up today, and I styled them both up in very similar ways to show the difference, and then to kind of show like if an outfit looks drastically different just because I have a pink cardigan versus a beige cardigan. Is it worth having a pink option? Does it really lift the outfit? Or does the beige work just the same? Because I've mentioned this before, but when you buy the same item in another color, one of them is going to get worn less. That's just like the reality of it. You know, when you have something that you absolutely love, like a white t-shirt, and you wear it all the time and it's amazing, and then you're like, oh, I need this in like every other color that they do, and then you buy those other colors, and either you don't wear them as much as the original because the original one you loved because it was white, or you wear one of the new ones more and then you forget about your original that you really, really loved when you only had one, but then because now you've got 3 or 4, you obviously can't wear them as often. So while I don't always recommend dupes, I just, like I said, I wanted to try it. I wanted to compare the two. I wanted to see how a pink cardigan looked in my wardrobe. I swear the day I ordered this, I then saw somebody walking down the street in a pink cardigan and I was like, oh, it does look good. So I just wanted to share my 2 cents on these. I would definitely recommend Palome. I think it's a really beautiful piece. If there was no brand label on it, I don't think I'd be able to tell the difference between the two. I would probably also think that the one with the fabric covered buttons was the higher quality one, just because of that detail. And I think it's just a really lovely detail. But I still give brownie points to Sezane for making this piece reversible because of the placement of the label. But like I said, you can just cut the label out and it isn't really a big deal. I have already been pinning outfits for my autumn winter wardrobe, and I've pinned lots of like pinks styled with burgundies, which I think is a really beautiful combination, although I don't own much, if any, burgundy in my wardrobe at the moment. But also with a really lovely chocolate brown. It gives a similar vibe, but it's actually something I own. So I have lots of chocolate brown. I styled this jumper up with a pair of chocolate brown trousers and a beautiful chocolate brown handbag from Teddy Blake. But then I also styled the beige jumper like that, and it also looked pretty amazing. So I would love to know what you think, if it's worth having an additional cardigan in a different color to give a completely different vibe, or if it's just worth keeping my original and just having my one Gaspard cardigan. Even though I have often thought through the years I'd love to have it in another color, I'm always looking on Vinted to see if I can find any Gaspard cardigans or any other Sezane cardigans at a slightly lower price point so that I don't have to spend £95 again. So you can get that. You can get it for £65 from Palome. The delivery was also pretty quick, I think because it came from London potentially. So that was great. And I swear, I think this colour is called Peony Pink. I swear when I opened the package that the jumper smelled like peonies, like it was beautiful. I'll insert a little clip of the packaging because it was really nice as well. But if they did have a scented packaging, I feel like that's a very nice touch. Let me know if you've ordered from Palome, if you've noticed that it has literally smelled like peonies. The other thing I will note right now, and fair enough, I have been a little bit sneezy and allergy-ish today, but holding up these cardigans is making my nose itch. So if you are sensitive to wool, then neither of these would be a good option to you. And I know my mum never wears real wool because it drives her nose crazy. So if you can't handle wool, these are probably not going to be good for you. Best bet would be a lovely cotton knit. I'd love to know if you had already heard about Palome, if you had spied anything that caught your eye that you're thinking of testing out, or if you are a diehard Sezane fan and just always going to stay with Sezane. Katie Louise put up a video recently as well, her review of a few different Palome pieces, and she had the pink cardigan, but she also had some other items. So if you need more recommendations, definitely go check out her video, because I feel like she's definitely way more of a Sezane expert than I am. If you have absolutely no interest in shopping either of these cardigans, that's fine too. For the outfits for these cardigans as well, I've really made sure that they align with my personal style, so that I'm being realistic. Like, these are realistic outfits that I could wear. So this is another reason why I wanted to order something and then make a video with it before I decide fully if I'm going to keep it. Because I think this is a great process for anybody who buys something before they decide to rip off the tags and keep it forever. This is what you could do. Try on some outfits with the rest of the pieces in your wardrobe and see if it actually goes with the colors you own, the other textures you own, in the outfits that you had envisioned it for, and just make sure it works for you. Do you need to overstyle it to make it work? Like, does it have to be styled with shoes that you actually don't find that comfortable, that you wouldn't wear every day, or certain things that aren't your everyday pieces? Because that's going to make it a little bit harder to get more wear out of. All of these outfits today were with fairly comfortable shoes. I had some ballet flats, I had a little block heel, which I actually surprisingly find comfortable, even though it's a mule. I don't know how it stays on my feet, it just does. I also styled up some boots as well, because it's nowhere near that season, but I am thinking about autumn winter, and I'm thinking about my autumn wardrobe. So if you are too, there is content coming for that, and I thought this is just a nice little teaser. But again, I wanted to make sure this cardigan not just works in my summer wardrobe, but works for me all year round with any kind of season. So that is why I included that in today's video. I also think there's an outfit in my head that I want to recreate with it, and it's my little kind of chocolatey brown mini PU skirt that I got from Petite Studios last year. It's in storage. I'm not 100% sure if it's in the storage up here or under my bed, so I didn't go rooting it out. But I think that would be an amazing combination with the pink cardigan as well. If I do decide to keep it, you will hopefully see me wear that outfit. I'll also leave a link below to both the Sezane Gaspard cardigan, because I know when I've linked it before, a lot of you have actually gone and shopped it, which I get it. It's a super popular style and it's super versatile and we all love it. I'll also leave a link to the Palome one. I don't have any discount codes. I bought it myself with my own money, and I haven't actually seen, I think because they're so new, I haven't actually seen anybody sharing Palome pieces with discount codes. So I did look so that I could get my own discount. I didn't see any. But if you find one, maybe pop it in the comments and whoever checks it out can benefit as well. Let me know if you did enjoy this kind of video, if you perhaps want to see me do this kind of comparison video in the future, or if there's any other brands that you're interested in that you want to find dupes of, or just kind of how to find nice high quality pieces without an extortionate price point. If you're not already subscribed, because I know quite a high percentage of my viewers are not actually subscribed, but if you do enjoy my videos, I would love it if you subscribe, hit the like button, and join this little community of people looking to have better style, have a better sense of their personal style and their wardrobe, and how they can shop less but have better quality pieces and build a nicer style, have better outfits without needing to own too much stuff or spend too much money. Hopefully eliminating that I have nothing to wear feeling and making you feel like you know what to do with the clothes in your wardrobe. So if that sounds like something you'd enjoy, definitely subscribe. Thank you so much for watching today, and I will see you all really soon in my next one.